Okay, this is awesome. So I want to start off with you, Stephen, because we kind of used your pick to kind of get people excited on the process. Kind of, you tell them a quick story about your experience with StreetText, how
Yeah,
you had your
yeah,
first experience, and then how you came back and created a new experience given your first experience. So go ahead and take the mic.
yeah. So can you guys hear me?
Sure can.
Awesome. So right around a year ago, I had signed up through StreetText, and it was going well at first and everything like that. But I spent a lot of money generating a lot of leads, and it was my own fault that I didn't have the systems in place to follow up. So a couple of months ago, or maybe like around a month ago, Marcus reached out again. Hey, Steve, how's everything going? And I wasn't really even thinking about StreetText at that point. I was cold calling every day, trying to get this business up and running, and it wasn't working. And I'm in actually Connecticut for a market. So right now things are going crazy because people are moving out of New York City into Connecticut. The market, honestly, I think has never been as good as it is right now. The only thing is that there are not a lot of homes on the market. So what I started doing when I signed back up was I started making sure that I had the systems in place that basically by the time I talk to a customer, they know me, they feel like they know me, they have seen the videos. I even send them personal touches on Facebook so they could see what I'm doing and kind of who I am as a person, because anyone can see anyone online nowadays. And even in my own market, I realized people are starting to use StreetText more and more. I've seen the same exact ads that I'm running. But I think what it really comes down to at the end of the day is really just, establishing that first connection. I have some notes written down here too on what I do to kind of go through everything, if you wanted me to go through that. But I mean, coming from my story now, so when I first signed up again last month, I started going through all of these old leads that I had in StreetText from my previous run. And I kid you guys not, it was basically just, I saw them, they were still opening emails that I was sending them. And so I just started going down the list on my dashboard. I saw the ones with the highest numbers for opens and everything like that. Just started going down the list, calling, hey, Steve from Regency Real Estate. We were talking last year. I had a crazy question. Would you be willing to maybe sell? I know kind of times are a little bit, crazy right now, but market is at an all-time record low for inventory. Just kind of explain the situation to them. And then most nine times out of 10, I'm getting the response where they're either all on board. I've had one person say, Steve, your level of follow-up is crazy. Like I commend you for that. And it's just the people that are responding, that the clients, to the BombBomb videos I'm sending them, the HomeBot links, the link to all this information that is actually useful to them. I could pull up emails right now from people just saying, Steve, like, this is crazy, the stuff that you're doing. And there was one guy that actually said, I've asked my other colleagues in the field why they are not doing what you are doing. And his response was that all the people just had blank stares. So that's kind of how I've been doing, where I've came from, how I got to where I am right now. I mean, just to give you a little update, I'm working on two $400,000 listings. I have another 5 or 6 that are coming up in the pipeline. It's really just kind of breaking down the sales. I could do this for you, I could do that for you, because right now people don't care, I think at least, that you can market their home and make it all this great big thing. What people really want, they do want that, but they want that personal connection. And kind of the seal the deal, what I do is, if I have been talking to them back and forth or stuff like that, my company actually offers what we have is a listing presentation box. And it's basically just this little blue box that has a glass in it, a coffee mug, some Hershey Kisses, and I leave a note on the top of it. It costs altogether, maybe $4 for the whole entire box. I put it in a nice reusable bag, leave it on their doorstep, and I've 9 times out of 10, they call me, Steve, that was not necessary at all, but thank you so much. that meant the world to me. And it just breaks down those walls so much, and you're able to have a real conversation with them, you know? So, I mean, that's kind of where I've been, where I am now. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to want to hear, and it looks like we got some people chatting in, and they're going to want to hear a little bit more on your process and your strategy. I mean, I think that for myself, the most important thing I heard, though, again, is differentiating yourself initially. And the one thing, and we say this on every mastermind basically, but for each and every one of you guys on here, the one thing that you have to provide that nobody else has to provide is yourself, right? You are your brand, and people want to deal with a real person. That's the key is, you know, you can have all these awards and all these stats and all these things that make you great. Wonderful. That's great. It's nice to have that stuff, but that's not what people really care about. They want somebody they can connect with, a real person. So if you have 5 other people, 50 other people running the exact same ad in your area, right? Those other people are going to get the same kind of leads, right? And there's even a chance that somebody could come click on my ad and somebody else's ad that's the same, put the same information in. My job is to now wow them, right? And how do I wow them? I'm a real person.
Exactly. I mean, even to touch on that really quick, one of the leads that I'm working with right now, I haven't been too much on the listing side, and he actually threw the question out at me, you know, Steve, can I see something similar that you've done in the area or something like that, kind of so I could get an average timeline? And I was honest with him. I said, you know what? I can't show you that because, you know, I've been focusing primarily on buyers, this and that. But what I can assure you is that I will work my ass off until this house gets sold, we get it under contract, and we have, you know, that's really what he was okay with, knowing that, listen, I'm going to put everything I have into this, you know, and that, I think that's really where it really shines, like you were saying, Logan.
So
I would, on that, Steve, you know what you do? Go find some in your office that's been listing, and always press the team concept and say, hey, well, I sit there and I work with, I've got a listing partner, I work with that primarily handles all that. And you don't make it a passover. Put yourself on it. Let him or some or her mentor you so that you're on the listing and start getting that experience. But they come at it to where you don't have to worry about the stumbling or mistakes trying to do it on your own. Because, you know, like I said, you'll find that that's where you make your money. Your follow-up is good. And I always say, let nothing get away. So turn around and just find someone in your office, say, hey, you want to co-list something with me? I guarantee you no one's going to turn you down. Oh,
yeah. Without a doubt. That's something I'm really have to think about now, for sure.
Hey, Steven, I got a question. So for everybody here, because there's all levels of experience here, you know, even they're just brand new. They're like, oh, that's awesome that you can go back to old leads. But what's the process when a seller lead comes in, brand new seller lead? How do you have different scenarios play out? Like, let's go through all the different scenarios that can play out with the lead coming in, including the addresses, including the address plus email, obviously a phone number. How do you access and leverage the SMS component? Maybe if you're using automations, and how your personal follow-up fits into that. Do you have a system in place that you kind of use?
So what I'm really doing right now is as soon as a lead comes in, they get a BombBomb video. So the first BombBomb video is actually me standing out in front of a house. I listed with through StreetText. I got the lead through StreetText last year. So I'm just standing out in front of the house, explaining, you know, I go over, this is the same exact way that I connected with this seller as I connected with you on Facebook. And that instantly kind of just shows them, I think, that number one, it's possible to actually get your home sold with someone that you just met on Facebook, you know? And I mean, after that goes out, really if they respond to the, in my initial email that asks them, you know, what are some of the things that you've done to the home and stuff like that, I'll, of course, tailor that into their HomeBot profile link before I send it out. I don't have automations set up for HomeBot links to automatically go out. But, you know, after that HomeBot link goes out, what I think really shines is I make everything very, very personal. So I, you know, take the time every morning. If I have some people that just came in and they need to get their CMA done, I'll take a look, see kind of who's responded. Okay, so they did this. So I'll go in, tailor that. And I'll actually, when I record their video to go out, because on the third day, I think some people might have a explainer on HomeBot or something like that. But I just left my third day email go, absolutely just let it go. And I kept it the same. And the reason for that is because some of these people are obviously, you know, not going to see the first email or something like that. So on that third day, what I've started to notice is that a lot of people start responding on that third day because I sent them the link and they're saying, you know, I think the third day email is, hope you got your CMA. You know, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And if they never responded to the first half, you know, they didn't get their CMA. So that's how I know if someone's really contacting me on the third day saying, hey, I didn't get my CMA, you know, where is it? Then you know, sometimes it goes to the spam folder and stuff like that. But then that is someone in my eyes that is truly, truly interested. So I'll just start making that personal connection, give them a call just to, you know, see, hey, what's up? And, you know, kind of get an overview and see what made them want to submit their information. Kind of understand their pain points, why they're selling, you know, where they're moving to. And just to touch on that really quick, something that happened a while ago, and it was a lead that came in and I was following up, but she just was not seeing my emails. And the more I just kept following up and the more she kept seeing these ads, she kept seeing them over and over again. And I just don't know if it was she just wasn't getting my emails or just kind of was playing hardball or something like that. But I was trying to get into contact with her, kept emailing her, and I was just like, you know what? I got to do something different. And actually during all this time, while I'm following up, she comments on one of my ads saying, oh, don't list with him. He doesn't follow up or anything like that. And I was just like, what? I don't follow up. And so I took one of the little boxes. I just left it right in front of her doorstep. I didn't text her at all. She called me and was like, Steven, you know, persistence is key. And I have to tell you, you've done an amazing job. Totally 360. I'm going to meet her next Wednesday. She's selling a $400,000 house, buying a bigger one. It's, you know, yeah. I'm a little excited right now. So I'm getting a little bit, you know, stumbled over words, but I mean, yeah.
So follow-up is key. I mean,
yeah.
Try to make the personal interaction. And do you use leverage, Julie, the SMS component, or do you kind of just try to sway that back into your lap? How do you go about using the automations effectively? And then where do you take over personally?
So, Julie, I don't really use that much. I have it set up and she has been talking to some leads and, you know, but I'm like 50-50 on Julie because I want to have, you know, the complete control. And, you know, that may make some people kind of, you know, I may lose some people just because I wasn't quick enough to get on top of them but I really think that the strategy that I have, just working out of your dashboard, and because if you think about it like this, on your dashboard, you see how many times people are interacting with your emails or anything like that. If you just go through your dashboard and start going down the list of all of the people that are actively looking and, you know, have, I would say, more than 50 interactions on your emails and everything like that, those are the people that are most interested. Because you think about it like you're throwing out the bait, and all these people that are opening your emails, these are the people that they're just eating your bait. So, I mean, right now, if you're fishing and a fish is just taking your bait, you're out of luck. So you got to go after them, follow up. And it's proven to be true, honestly, in this strategy, because every single listing that I have coming up is over the 50 interaction score. I mean, I have one person right now that's at a 128 and a 105. So, I mean, if that's just not screaming, I want to list, you know, I don't know what is.
Wow. Yeah. You guys hearing that? So your marketing interaction score, we haven't really even spoke about that before. John, I mean, you built that. That must have been your intention there, hey?
Well, just really quick, if John, I don't know if you're getting a visual ready to show us or anything, but just really quickly on that, how important then would you say is your first video in that first email, right? Because to get to that, you know, over 100 interaction score, that means that they're opening subsequent emails. And if you send that first email that's lacking any and all personality, and we see this all the time, if anybody clicks on the light bulb, clicks on emails, you can see your emails open rate as a global total, not for, you know, per individual necessarily as you click another button, yada, yada, but you can see this, and we see it all the time. For anybody who comes in and doesn't edit the drip campaign, doesn't put video within it, you'll start at a, you know, a 60 to 70% open rate, sometimes higher. The next email is 30%. You're down to 20%, and then nobody's opening your subsequent emails. Why? Because they opened that first one and it was lacking any and all personality, right? Anybody can type an email, right? Anybody can create a video too, but at the same time, it just needs to have that little bit of personality. And even if they're not ready, let's say somebody's 12 months away from selling their home, that video isn't going to convince them that they need to sell their home tomorrow. Of course not. That's not the intended purpose. The intended purpose is to say, I'm spending my real time to help you. I'm a real person and I'm here for you. So then 3 months, 6 months, 12 months goes by, they're still opening your emails. That first email, you can't underestimate the importance of it. You got to have that video in there.
Oh, hi, where do you go to see that? So maybe I missed that, but can we do a tutorial of how to view those numbers on the dashboard?
Yeah. Now there's two places to view the numbers. Now the numbers that Steve was talking about is the lead scoring. And if you just go to, because now Kim, I know you're beyond trial, right? So if you just go to your dashboard, anybody who's in trial, you don't have that screen. It looks different. For anybody post-trial, you click on your dashboard and you look there, and you should have every lead that you've ever obtained will come up. And anytime they open an email, anytime they respond to something, that number, the lead score, will increase. So what Steve is mentioning is he has a few people over 100. That means that people are opening emails and they may not be responding to you. You may not even know that
they're interested because they're opening things. Got it.
Exactly. So that's that place. And then the other place would be, of course, if you click on the light bulb and then on emails, you can see the after submission followed by day 3, day 10, yada, yada, yada. And if you follow the line over, you'll see a number that represents the times it's been sent and then an open rate as well with that.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Steve, maybe you could, do you have like what you drop off at the door or the BombBomb video or anything in front of you? It'd be great to sort of see an example of what it is that you're sharing.
Yeah, I don't have the little box in front of me, but basically what it is like I was saying, it's we actually order custom boxes that we have to actually put together, kind of like a pizza box. And then I just take some tissue paper, and our colors are blue and gold. So I take some tissue paper, just put it right in there. We have a glass that just says Regency Real Estate, put that in there. A nice coffee mug, put that in there. Some like little tchotchke stuff. We have like a little notepad, Hershey Kisses that are actually branded as Regency. And then I just put a little note right in the top that just says, hey guys, or hey Joe, hey Smith, or blah, blah, blah. Just wanted to drop this off. You know, something just makes it personal connection. And I mean, you could text them to let them know that you're dropping it off. But most of the time where I've found it to be the most surprising is when people are not even expecting it. So, I mean, if I drop it off in the middle of the day at 12 o'clock and I text him and he's at work that I dropped something off, it kind of takes away that surprise a little bit, I think. So I just let them kind of find it. And then if a day or two goes by and they don't call me, I'll give them a call, say, hey, just, you know, I just wanted to check in to see if you have if you got the box that I had dropped off, you know. I'll even send them a BombBomb video or something like that. But as far as like any other things that I send over to them, we actually have a seller's guide, which is like a 20-page book that I designed. And I actually have that in front of me. Hold on. All right. So this is our seller's guide. And it basically just goes through kind of everything that we do as a company It has our Zillow marketing, our average days on market. It has what our marketing package comes with. Just some really kind of, it's an overview of everything that we do for our sellers, you know? And I mean, even to touch on really what I do because just to go back a little bit, when I first started with StreetText, I got really, really overwhelmed and I just had too much coming in. And like I was saying, I didn't have the systems in place to follow up. But I don't know if any of you guys follow Ricky Carruth. He's a real estate coach online. And honestly, the best advice he has ever given in any of his YouTube videos is if you want to hit 100 deals a year, make a Google sheet with 20 people in it that are ready to make a move within the next 60 to 90 days. And then I just keep working those 20 people. And I have my spreadsheet filled up right now. I'm at 15. I'm still trying to get to that 20. But if I'm talking to someone and I find out that, you know, they just had some health issues come up, they're not looking to sell right now, they come off the list, but I have to replace that with another person. So that's where kind of my main thing I go into every day, look at those 20 people, go down the list. If I need to call them, if I need to text them, I look and see if they're still opening emails on StreetText. If they've kind of started slowing down a little bit, then I'll reach out, just try anything I possibly can. And even with sending out these automatic emails and everything like that, also what I've been doing is just kind of building myself as a personal brand. So making some YouTube videos. I made one where it was a top 5 reasons to live in Connecticut. And, you know, you could download different YouTube videos or YouTube tools to help you make the right tags, help you have the right, you know, wording and stuff like that in your description. And then if I just want to re-engage a client, I have all of these videos that I could just send them. You know, if you're just on the road and you just want to send them something quick off of YouTube, hey, you know, I just was thinking about you. I made this new video, would love to hear your feedback on it. And it just keeps the conversation going. It doesn't always have to be about listing their home. It doesn't always have to be about, what do you want to do? Are you looking to buy right now? You know, just keep establishing that connection. And then like Marcus has told me many of times, it's not about right now. It's about building for the future. And if you guys are having like trouble really kind of understanding that, one book that I'll recommend to read is called The One Thing. All right. And it's, I believe, by Gary Keller, actually wrote half of it. And this One Thing book talks about, you have this one goal. Okay. And that's like your main goal. And that's your one thing. But right now you need to find out what your one thing is. And your one thing right now is what will get you to that one thing later on. So right now, my one thing is just the follow-up, the personal branding, the making myself seem like a actual person online. And, you know, it's been working. So, yeah.
That's awesome, Steve. So well done from like all of us. You're doing awesome, and the momentum that you're building now is just gonna create that wave right through the summer. It's gonna keep going. So that's really cool. I always love to see when people hit this tipping point that you're at right now. It's exciting time. So my next question for you is, you said you have this spreadsheet, you have about 20 people on that list that you try to really go after. What are you looking at? Are you sending your box to everybody, or are you sending them specifically to people on that list? And what is sort of your time frame with things? Like, do you have a time frame, or are you going more based on how they're engaging with you?
So right now, what I'm really doing is, if I've been talking to them, I, you know, did a CMA, I sent them the HomeBot link, they responded to that. So I kind of know they have somewhat of an interest. So on maybe I would say the 4th or 5th day of me talking to them and stuff like that, I'll go out and I'll deliver the box. So the box isn't going out to everyone. It's really only kind of, if I could see that if the box can make a difference and really kind of push it just a little bit further and just kind of break down the barriers and make them understand like, hey, I'm here to help. And that's when I'll really deliver the box. And I mean, for these, the Google Sheet too, it's not just sellers too. There's buyers in here that I've generated off of StreetText. And like I said, right now, my list isn't full. So I have 15 people right now, though, that are all from StreetText that are ready to make a move within the next 90 days. And yeah.
So Steven, are you also trying to connect with them through Facebook?
So if I could find them on Facebook after the little trick that you showed me, absolutely. I'll try friend requesting them. I'll send them another video email with a course. Hey, I just, friend requested you, and I'll do the message request thing. But I figured out that if, that's my main thing too. Some people have it set up on an automation where it's just kind of, hey, I sent you a message. You could go to your message request folder, but I'm home most of the day. I'm sitting in front of the computer. If I can make it just that little bit more personal by saying their name, absolutely. It will take 30 seconds. They'll realize that it's not an automated thing. It's actually, oh man, you made this video for me. And it works. Jeez.
I love it. So are you using screen recording tools at all when you're talking to this person, or are you just doing straight up BombBomb video, writing their name on the board or something like that? How are you making it personal?
So really what I'll do is I'm screen recording. Absolutely. Every single person that gets a HomeBot link from me, I just really have a script that I could kind of run down really quick. And all I have to do, it's a 2-minute video each time. So if I record that video, hey, Joe, just wanted to point out a couple of things with your HomeBot profile that you might have missed. And let's just go through it really quick. And again, I send that video out. I could pull up the emails here to show you what some of the people are saying. They're in awe of, number one, HomeBot, because let me tell you, HomeBot is awesome. They're amazed at the video in the email that actually has the animated preview. I use actually a call to action on the BombBomb video that will say schedule a showing, or schedule a CMA or evaluation time or something like that. So they could click that right then and there. It goes to my Calendly. They can go ahead, set it up, and then I just get the notification. But I mean, really, yeah. That's what I'm kind of doing there.
That's awesome. And Steven, if there's anything that you could share in the insider group after this, that everything you've discussed, just links, videos that you've done, just small examples, I think everyone would love it, because a lot of people are like, whoa, automated, like there's automations, right? There's the initial email, there's a day 3, there's a day 10. Some people really spend time in customizing those. Some people don't. Some people like you probably do both and have a personal follow-up, and script kind of there based on the interaction with the HomeBot, or maybe even lack of interaction. So whatever you can send that group, that would be super helpful.
Absolutely. I'll put some stuff together too, with some, like, I saw some people asking for scripts and all that other kind of stuff. All the scripts that I use too are, I highly recommend you guys go to Ricky Carruth. His coaching program is free. And, even ask Marcus. Marcus has given me some great scripts to, especially messaging Facebook sellers. And that's actually another thing. When I do message them on Facebook, it's not a text or anything like that. It's actually a video still. So as many videos as I could send them, absolutely do it. And plus, don't be afraid to send a BombBomb video if it's right to their phone too. That's another thing that will blow them away.
Yeah, you can. BombBomb is great because you can send it as social. You can send it as, obviously if you have Facebook, you don't need to send it as social, but you can send it as a text message, and of course the email. And now they have the call to action. Like you said, not a lot of people are using the call to action. I think the call inside of that video is pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's great. Anybody have any questions for Steven? While he's here, this is a lot to break down.
Yeah, I have just a quick question. If you could just like I watched the video. I'm brand new to StreetText and I'm not using it right. I need to get my head around this thing more better.
Yeah.
But so I watched the BombBomb. I mean the the HomeBot video. I didn't sign up for HomeBot, but my lender uses HomeBot, so I guess I can go through it because you have to be attached with a lender, right?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
If you want to do, if you're looking for sellers, you can do it by yourself. If you want to attach the buyer's side of it, you will need to partner with a lender.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that in the demo video with them. Okay.
Cost is
So-
like $1 a day, Thad, like for the seller side. It's really worth it because the interaction is so high, the open rates are so high. So, I mean, we always talk about some essential integrations in the United States. I would say BombBomb and HomeBot are a lethal combo when you use the two together well.
Well, can you explain just HomeBot real quick? Just pretend I'd never looked at it. Just like in a brief, quickly, like what do they get out of it exactly?
Well, Stephen, take that over on explaining HomeBot to Thad.
Yeah. So HomeBot has a lot of cool features. The number one thing is that it really, what's the word I'm looking for? Encourages your client to interact and ask questions. And I mean, just from the front page of it, you're going to see the estimated value that HomeBot will automatically generate for you. And now they have a button.
It's pretty accurate.
It actually is extremely accurate. In my experience, it's been each time around $5,000 to $10,000 off. So that's pretty close gap.
Yeah,
so I mean,
that's great.
Yeah.
We're not talking estimates here then.
What's that?
We're not talking Zestimates like the whole Zillow idea.
Yeah. So, I mean, after that, there's actually a button right underneath there that says tune value. And so let's say they did some kitchen upgrades, they did some bathroom upgrades. They can go through there. It will actually ask them individual questions, which I love because if I see more than a couple of questions on a page, I'm done. I'm not going to do it. So it walks them through. All right, how many bedrooms do you have? 5? All right, let's confirm that. Okay. How many bathrooms? What kind of updates have you done? And then after they go through this whole funnel, you get an email saying, all right, you know everything that they've done with the house. You can go right in there and tune it. And what's actually really cool is they can actually tune the value too. And scrolling down the page more, there's loan information. There's information about, based on the equity that they have in the house, it will give them some options on what they can do. They can maybe buy their dream home, and this is what they would be able to do. An investment property. It will even show them if they wanted to use the money on a vacation, where they could go. And HomeBot actually just came out with this awesome new feature where when you initially send a HomeBot report to someone, it comes up as basically just this little kind of box, and it says your HomeBot report is here. There you go. What they just did, I honestly will change the game, because in that initial email, you can record a video. So when they get that initial email that says, hey, welcome to your HomeBot profile, you'll be able to, in that email, put a video there, whether it be a welcome video saying, hey, Joe, welcome to HomeBot. This partnership, it is absolutely crazy, the information that you are going to have access to. So I just wanted to take a quick second to go over some of the key features that I think would really benefit you. And then, I mean, if you could incorporate that into that first original email, and then also have another video go out through BombBomb with the StreetText drip campaigns, they're going to be messing with HomeBot left and right. They're going to be asking you questions, and you're pretty much not even going to need to go to the home, except really unless it's time to sign paperwork. And
okay, that sounds awesome. I'm signing up with it today. So
there you go.
Okay, so the first lead comes in, boom. Mm-hmm. You send them a quick little email, BombBomb video, right? Mm-hmm. And then do you have the link to the HomeBot in that email? Or
no. So actually, all of my sellers do not get their HomeBot link until I have a good conversation with them. Okay. And some of them actually, if I could see on the dashboard, if they have that interaction score and it's really high, but for some reason, I just have not been able to get a hold of them, I'll still send them the HomeBot link, and usually that will kind of make them turn around and start interacting again, because it's basically giving them a tool that they can use. They can go into it every single day if they want. It doesn't cost them a penny. And I mean, for $25, I think a month, you get 500 contacts that you can put into there. So, you know, I think it's $10 more for another 500.
They have to enter their email and or home address again on that HomeBot and register?
Nope, you actually register them. And they just actually, again, HomeBot released another announcement saying that they're incorporating Zapier. So pretty soon it's going to be able to take it right out of StreetText, throw it right into HomeBot, and, you know, you're good to go.
It's in beta.
Oh, we can do that, Steve.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Oh, well, geez, I want to get that linked up right away.
Yeah, so talk to HomeBot, ask for their beta link, and then we can get you connected through StreetText Zapier instantly.
And then
Perfect.
Friday class, because Friday now we have a class that's integrations with Zapier. So that'll be your best opportunity to connect those all together.
Perfect. I'll be there.
So again, real quick, Steven, so you register the person for HomeBot before you send them a link. So when they open that link, they're already in there with their name, email, and they can start putting in their address and whatever information they need to in that HomeBot thing.
So actually what happens is, what HomeBot requires for you to send out this initial digest is a first name, a last name, an email. If there's more than one owner, you can definitely add them right into there. But when they receive this HomeBot link, all they have to do is click it, and the report is automatically already generated. Everything is filled out. You know, I've had some problems in the past where the loan saying because it gives them how much you've paid on principal and how much you've paid on interest. And I've had some people say that that's a little bit wrong, but it still gets them actively talking to me. So even if it's wrong, that's okay. Let's figure out how we could fix it and then keep it fixed going forward.
Well, that brings us back to what Leon is always telling us as well. Sometimes putting something slightly wrong on some kind of mailer, or getting something slightly inaccurate. You know, it's 5-bed, 4-bath, and you put it's a 4-bed, 5-bath or something like that. It's correction culture. It gets that those people say, oh, that's not right. I want to make sure that, you know, so there's nothing wrong with it being slightly inaccurate as long as the majority of it is valuable.
Good way to start a conversation.
Absolutely.
There you go.
So then is that what you actually use for your CMA? Then it's just the HomeBot, whatever.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not doing your own CMA and sending them one, because you're letting HomeBot do its stuff.
Right before we initially settle on a price, and you know, I don't really talk any numbers except for that HomeBot profile. I don't say if I think that this is what it's worth or anything. I let them tell me what they think it's worth first, and then when I set up the appointment to go out there, I'll just confirm everything, and then that's when I'll actually pull back, sit down, do the regular CMA how I regularly would. And then that's how we come up with the price, you know, what we'll do to list on market.
Okay. You can kind of compare it with what they did and show them other comps and da-da-da. Yeah. All right. Exactly. That's cool. Yeah. I like that.
Hey, Thad.
Yes.
I'm in Seattle, home of Zillow, which I laugh about because they don't have access to our MLS. And we always say about, you know, one of the things, one of the scripts that they were doing in StreetText before was saying, this is what the internet's best guess for your home is. So finishing off what Logan was saying, you know, when people are here to correct you about stuff, it starts a great conversation. I went to a listing appointment yesterday. The MLS said 5 bedrooms. The tax record said 3. And they had an attic upstairs that wasn't finished off with any closets. So one of the things to be aware of, because on your end of things, you're not here to have someone come in, write offer on a house, and then ask you who's paying for the 4th bedroom. So knowing that in the past, like MLS have changed and updated their disclosure stuff, or they've changed stuff in the MLS, this is your chance to have them tell you latest updates, upgrades, remodels. And the fact that you already have a discrepancy, I send that out. I go, hey, it's Leon from the Premier Houses team. You know, just had a quick question. You know, I was looking at everything and pulled you up online, and I'm showing 3 bedrooms here, 5 bedrooms there, or square footage that's off. Could you kind of update me so I can give you good numbers? And that's where they get back to you pretty quick. and it really turns into more than just a casual conversation.
Who wants to see a few examples of this? Yeah? Okay, let me share my screen. Wendy shared an example. I'll share that one as well as an automated example. So when you look at this one, it's coming out of Stacy Sebastian's auto email. She's kind of changed it up a little bit. She's got a schedule now link. She's got this video explaining HomeBot itself, or at least it's the first auto email that sends from the email. And so when someone opens that email, this is what they're getting. And she's kind of explaining a little bit the HomeBot scenario. So I'll play this for you.
Hi there, how's it going? Thanks for clicking on that Facebook evaluation request. I am working on sending over a link to you called HomeBot, and that's going to be your personal website for the evaluation of your property during these times. So if you have any questions or anything, let me know. You can also ask me to validate that, that property evaluation that comes out, and I can do that for you with what I call a live virtual CMA, and I can do that through Zoom with you, or I can go ahead and just send you a video link per your request. It will come through YouTube or something called BombBomb, which is what I'm recording on now. So if there's any details you'd like to share with your property, any upgrades that you did, go ahead and send me over an email and let me know so that I can make sure I consider that. Without seeing your property in person, I can't be perfect with that evaluation. So if you want to send me a video, or if you'd like to do a FaceTime live with me, that would help me get a better evaluation, just to play safe during these times. So again, Stacy Sebastian with eXp Realty, and I'll be in touch soon. Okay, bye-bye.
And just real quick, the thing I like so much about this whole process is that, you know, years ago, it used to just be somebody would request the information and our job was to basically either just give them a blind CMA and hope for the best, or convince them that we need to see the home. But then it's hard to offer that little bit of value in the meantime, right? So now essentially with this process, you're saying ultimately, hey, I need to see the home still. If you want my personal and my professional opinion, I'm still gonna need to get into your home and have a look around and see it, which obviously as realtors, that's what we want, to build that rapport and you know, establish that relationship. But you're offering these little micro steps along the way that are peppered with value, right? Like I need this to give you what you're truly after. However, here's some free information. Here's value along the way, so that it's not just a bait and switch. It's somebody who's legitimately trying to help you, but understand that I can't give you everything until I have, my eyes on your property. But again, I think that it's so valuable to be able to give them things like HomeBot, to give them these little estimates, neighborhood values, whatever it is, but giving them something small along the way until you really do get in person. And that's where obviously we sign those contracts.
Let's share another one. Here's Stevens, who just shared. Steven, do you want me to share off just the first few minutes, or how would you want me to share this one?
Just the first few minutes, just so they could kind of get an overview on how I introduce everything. And, it goes over, this is actually a personal one that I did too.
Okay, perfect. Hold on, let me get the volume way up here for you. Okay.
This is screen share, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The volume might be a little bit low. That might have been me recording it. Sorry.
I wanted to pop in quick here to show you a little bit around your new HomeBot profile. So in general, HomeBot is a program that we actually just partnered with, and they give you some really, really awesome facts about your home. And just scrolling down here, it will show you kind of how much you've paid towards principal and how much towards interest. A little bit of a hard one to look at sometimes. And it tries to grab the most accurate information. So after each little section here, it'll ask you to verify if it looks correct. And if it does, you can go ahead and say, yep, that looks right. Or you could change the numbers to tune it in to whatever you know to be the correct numbers. And starting up at the top here, this is your home's value. So if you had, let's say, just redid a kitchen or a bathroom, a bedroom, anything like that, and you wanted to have me incorporate that into this value, because this is basically just going off other homes that are comparable in size-wise to yours, but we haven't really adjusted for the finishes just yet. So if we go ahead and click Tune Value, you're going to be able to slide this little slider to the left or to the right. So maybe if it's a little bit more outdated, to the left, and if you just update your whole kitchen and the whole house or something like that, then obviously you would pull it a little bit to the right. But for right now, I want you to do that and go in there. So I'm just going to leave it. But let's say that you wanted to go ahead and let's click continue here. It will ask you to kind of scroll through and just confirm all the facts about your house. So all of our data we're actually pulling from local online databases through the towns. So it should be correct, but sometimes it's just not. So scrolling over to this side, this is all your current mortgages. So you'll be able to see all of the current mortgages that you have on the house. You could add another one that maybe we didn't pick up on. And then also scrolling down all the way to the bottom here, it will also give you some cool tips on, let's say if you just pay $100 more each month, you could save $13,000, and you could pay your mortgage off 3 years earlier. Already paid extra, so you can calculate that in. Also gives you some cool scenarios about different things like investments that you can roll the money that you make on the sale of this house. It will give you some scenarios on what you could put that money into. So let's say buying your dream home, $1.1 million. We'll give you kind of a little scenario on that. Buying an investment property, just sell and pocket the cash, or rent your home and buy another. So we'll give you all the options. Scrolling down, so let's say you have, you do have $260,000 worth of equity. This will actually give you some tips on what you could do just kind of outside of the real estate field. So you'll see here, splurge on a new vacation, create an emergency fund, explore new investments. And on any part of this, there's always going to be this little box right here that you could always just click, and then you'll automatically, the question will get sent right to me. You can actually scroll in here and type me in a custom message just by clicking in the little box, and I'll be able to receive that, and then I can give you a call. Also a little quick scenario. So this is a Airbnb Calculator. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with Airbnb, but it's an online platform which allows you to rent out your house night by night. It's kind of like a hotel, except anyone can really come into your house and live for the night. So this will kind of give you a little bit of a scenario on what you would potentially make if you did that. And then scrolling down, there's just my information. You could visit me on my website. You could also follow me on Facebook at any time. It's just type it in. It's Steven Sells CT. So that pretty much wraps it up here, Robert. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. My best number is 203-704-7710. And hopefully I'll talk to you soon. All right, I'll see you.
Wow. That was so impressive. I would be blown away. Blown away.
Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah, that's great. People look for value right there. That's, I'm trying to sell.
Thanks.
Right. So does that just pull into your screen? I mean, how do you do that?
It's just like a click of a button. So when you go to start a BombBomb video, it will give you, I think, an option where you can either click screen record or, actually, let me see.
Screen share. They have a good training on that.
Yeah.
Training.
Yeah. But I mean, that's it.
Because I like how you're just the client on the other end is watching that video and they're really seeing where you're pointing your mouse. Mm-hmm. So that all just goes and then goes to them just like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when you open up the HomeBot for them and register them, and that's going out. You record your video as a screen share,
mm-hmm.
and you do it okay. That's cool.
And that could give you an opportunity to start the conversation when you're on that first part, when you're adjusting the slider too, when you say exactly like you said, you may have added a new kitchen, you may have added this, slide it left or right. But then if you have any, questions as to maybe how much that new kitchen actually did appreciate your home, or if you have any questions as to what that renovation actually does mean in terms of dollars and cents, again, that's where I come in. So if you have any questions on this, this is a great place to, here's my number, reach out and quickly contact me, and I'll let you know how much that $15,000 investment in your kitchen was actually worth to your bottom line.
Also, Thad, in the follow-up for that, the reason BombBomb is such a strong tool, when I send out my HomeBots, the other thing when you first sign up, you can actually send a whole list of clients, and HomeBot will upload them for you. So going in every day, my routine has been I check the activity, see who's in there, because you want the busiest folks. But when we send something out, so if I send out an updated CMA, or let's say they tuned a value, I'll even send something saying, hey, I see you were in the site today, it changed, it had tuned the value of your home. My ask was there something that I might have missed that would have helped me give you a better thing. The BombBomb videos actually track opens. So BombBomb integrates into your Outlook, into your Google, even on your phone. So when you send it out to them, they open it, you even know when they're looking at your stuff because it'll notify you in real time. So, you know, in speed to lead, people come in, they're on the internet, you got 5 to 10 minutes to get them where they're surfing someone else's site. So if you're doing the follow-up like Steve says he's doing, and you're sitting there, you'll get the notice that they opened it, and you'll sit there and kind of laugh like, oh, okay. But then you can hit them with the follow-up, and you know, that's the best time to catch them is when they're out biting the hook.
And I'll even chime in really quick there on that note is whenever you really realize, what I've realized, especially with the BombBomb tracker, is that you can kind of figure out when is the time that these people will be most responsive. And once you get that time, honestly, I think that's the point where it's game over. Because, you know, what I do is as soon as I see someone that has opened the email and I see they clicked it, and what I'll do is I will just pick up the phone and I'll just call them, hey, you know, I was just thinking about you, you know, how's everything going? And people, Steve, I was just thinking about you. What's going on? And it's crazy how much it works.
Speaking my language, buddy.
There you go.
Any questions before we
just real quick, Steve. So the first lead that comes in it comes in and it's got phone number and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Are you calling them first thing, or you're doing a BombBomb video first and an email with?
So see, I will, if they come in and they have a full profile, you know,
right,
I will let the first email go out. And, you know, I'm through StreetText with my BombBomb video and me standing in front of a house. I listed through StreetText explaining that whole situation. And I'll actually link that video too in the StreetText Insider group, so you guys can look at that. But, you know, I'm really not reaching out to these people, as I think maybe it sounds bad, but until they really kind of show me some interest, you know, and the interest doesn't have to be them responding to me. The interest is just from the analytics that I have running. If they open my BombBomb video, if someone has not been responding to me, but has clicked my BombBomb video 37 times and has watched it or something like that, I don't know, maybe they just think I'm pretty or something like that. But, you know, hey, I think that means in my eyes that, you know, they're interested in some way, shape or form. So, and that's when I'll, you know, pick up the phone, call them, text message them, send them a personal note to their house. That's something especially people really respond well to, sending just a personal note. It's either just one of those little kind of cards you open up like this, or even just on some letterhead that just make sure that you write it. And it doesn't have to be something long. It doesn't have to be market stats or this or that. Just some people just want, you know, hey, how's it going? You know, I just wanted to check in, you know. And that, I think really when you start establishing that connection, that's what's also going to be establishing these deals that are going to be starting to come from StreetText 7 years from now, because you're building up this huge pipeline and referral base. And like I said, the message that I sent out to Marcus the other day, just, if it wasn't for Marcus, I wouldn't be here. So like I said, I got to thank Marcus for everything. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's cool to hear, Steve. You know, for anyone who is in Canada, they're probably thinking, oh man, HomeBot sounds amazing. The best strategy is, the second best strategy to HomeBot would be just monthly home market reports. So it's very simple, but the nice thing about home market reports is that's something that you can blast out to everybody that's subscribed to you. And you can do it really simply. You can do it as a BombBomb video and then just make it like a single video that you describe in the market. But again, add a little bit of uncertainty. It's always a good thing, kind of like, you know, varying depending on your condition or what's happening in your particular neighborhood, because that creates those conversations, because people want to know more. They want to dig a little bit more. And then another strategy I see like Ryan Peterson doing, which I think is good too, is he uploads each month's market report to YouTube. And then that's starting to create a bit of a channel following, because anybody that wants to follow the market report can find them on YouTube. But then he embeds that video screenshot, just the way you would do a HomeBot, in his email. He just takes a screenshot of that video, puts it in his email, and then when people click it, it takes them straight to YouTube. so then they can subscribe to that channel directly. I think that's a good strategy as well if you want to link YouTube with it's sort of like a newsletter, and that he sends once a month. And I found I actually like following them now, so I'm kind of like staying up to date with what he's sending as well, just because it's always interesting to see what's going on sort of around different markets, and it's interesting. But yeah, so it's a lot of good value.
Brand you. Just remember, at the end of the day, it's brand you. So what you got to do is you got to figure out how to stay in front of them and brand yourself. It's your personality, right? It's your knowledge of the market. It's the likability factor, right? It is know, like, and trust. So if you don't have this part of your business dialed in, especially from the beginning, how are they ever going to even know you, let alone see the value that you're providing? So just like we're seeing here with the screen recording, with the videos, all of that is just a brand. They get to know Steve, and while they're getting to know Steve, they're getting the value that's coming out of that as well. And they put that together, and they obviously want a dialogue about that, because I think that's the key in that. The follow-up's got to be personal. Your automations do their thing, but the follow-up's got to be personal. So one takeaway I would take from Steve today, whether you're in Canada or the US, is the personal follow-up. Take the 30 seconds to a couple minutes more and spend time reaching out to that person as a name, as an individual with their own home, not try to make your automations all dialed in. Focus on the personal follow-up. And not just that, don't just look for the cost per lead, but look for that interaction score and your opens. If the video is getting played multiple times over, you've got somebody, right? And if you get that notification on your phone or your email that they just opened it, do what Steven did. Pick up the phone and make the call, right? Hey, was just thinking about you. I mean, that's all you got to do. And
one of the things I throw on the back of that, we always sit there and say there's no perfect program, and we hate to have to have an add-on to a plug-in to attach to kind of thing. But those of you that are running BombBomb already, if you're not sending, so when you kind of go into StreetText, you see the activity, you see what's going on, send out the valuation using the BombBomb, because you're tracking opens, you're tracking activity. If you don't know what people are doing, then you're kind of a little behind. And if you got a program you're not using it, it's like, yeah, it sucks that you don't have the HomeBot, but I would take BombBomb, I take my valuation, I send it out through that, and I track the activity. And then, just like Steven said, as soon as he sees the activity on there, he's on it. I was just thinking of you. You're going to get that through the BombBomb. So if you're not using your tools that you're already paying for, I would say, don't go find something else. Don't go find an email program that tells you when they open. You have one. So just start filtering everything through your BombBomb to track the activity, and then get the follow-up on that. And I guarantee the activity will pick up in your response as well.
Yeah, and if you're going to do the personal video, then do the video showing them, like, if you have found them on Facebook, use the screen recording tool, show them that you sent them the friend request, show them where the message is hanging, because you want to get that conversation back to Facebook if possible. So while you're doing everything of value, maybe you leave it with, oh, by the way, at the very end, show them that you sent them a message. And because you present a value in that HomeBot, and at the very end, you're actually crossing over and showing them where you're looking to connect. Right? That would be the perfect ask at the end of all that great value for the friendship.
For most of you that are using HomeBot, are you just doing the $29.95 one, or?
I'm paying slightly more. The buyer side, you have to have a lender that's doing it in order to have it. So what I did is I had a couple of my lenders asked who had it, and I made very clear to whatever lender you do it with that you do have leads in there that are that have been working with other lenders, and I tell them I'm loyal to what I do. So when the HomeBot stuff pulls up, the lender actually sees the name, but they don't have all your information going across. So that's the only thing you can work with the buyer. But in set it and forget it, it's like I've got like 2,000 in there or something like that. So my activity log every morning is definitely a little busier, but it's just a nice tool to use because it covers everybody and everything. And then it also lets you sit there and have them share it to other people. So I'm always pitching my product to get the most out of it. And you wind up another way of getting referrals, because you can tell a friend, hey, just sign your friend up for this. When people tell you it's neat, say, hey, sign your friends up for it, give it to them, and make sure you post it on your Facebook page. And in your Facebook business page, you're allowed to pin things to the top. I have HomeBot pinned to the top of my pages on my business pages, because I want that traffic to be curious at 3 in the morning to go in there and fill it out. And Steven, you had me laughing because I'm the same way. When I see what time these people are coming in, I see their activity, I might set a reminder to go ahead and send something out. I'm not going to get up at 2 in the morning to see you, but it might be the last thing I send out at 10 at night because I know you're going to see it and I'll be at the top of your email list when you get up that morning. So understanding people's habits based on the activity you see in StreetText and BombBomb and HomeBot is really important if you're trying to get a hold of people. You vary your times. If you're calling every day at 2 o'clock, you're not getting them, then that's shame on you. That means you need to be at 9 in the morning or 7:30 at night, but vary up what you do based on people's habits, and that's how you connect.
All right, y'all. That was an awesome meeting, Steven. Thank you so much.
Wendy's got something to share, Marcus, just before we close off. She's got to share a screen. Okay, Wendy.
Yeah, we can see you, Wendy.
And unmute yourself, Wendy.
Sorry, I just wanted to get your guys' take on this. I was trying to whip up a quick postcard for address only, because we get a lot of those too. And I was trying to make it as simple as possible, but if you guys have any ideas, that would be fabulous. So I just took the map that's on the link that they clicked, because I usually use this one. It works the best. Anyway, and I just said, thanks for inquiring about your home's value through my Facebook link, but we still need your email. And then on the back of it, I have this, which they should be familiar with because that's going on all my videos and text and Facebook. And I just said, hi there, I received a request to find your home's value, and I'm working on a personalized video for you about your home at, and then I'll handwrite their address, name and address in here. And then the stamp will go up here. And then it just says, you can text your email to me at 702-334-1669, email it to wendy@lvsweethomes.com, or complete your request at, and then this is the StreetText link that they originally clicked on. What do you think?
I love it. I would try to disguise that StreetText link perhaps, right? Get a forward on it, because you can go.
You can mask that.
Do like a bit.ly?
Yeah, or a bit link, or even mask it as like your own like LasVegasHomeValues.com link. Go buy it and then redirect it.
Yeah, or even you can set up a custom URL link on StreetText itself, which we can do just like it for the final part there. Just name the tag, so it won't be so hard to type in, because I can see a lot of people getting that wrong.
We choose not to put it in because it's so long.
I remember.
Yeah. Yes, custom tags. The other thing, I like this. This is great. The only thing I'd be wondering, like, what's the value other than the ability to resubmit their information that they'll get from this postcard straight up, and maybe including or changing out some of it, because you're basically saying twice that you've received their request. Maybe you could include some some basic stats on their market, like 3 stats, like homes are moving in your market. Number of homes sold, or whatever, like the different ratios might be, just like 2 or 3 stats in the market. So they feel like they're getting something of oh, okay, interesting. And then that could obviously help them move forward and take action. And then always nice.
For everybody. And Las Vegas and Henderson and Boulder City and Summerlin and Logandale and, all those places are different. So
Wendy, consider, you put something in here where you said, I'm working on a personalized video for you. Maybe change your verbiage to, I've created a personal video for you, but I have no ability to send it, right?
Okay.
It shows that you already have something waiting for them. You're not, in other words, but you don't have it created yet, obviously, right? But when they respond to you, then you send them the video you'd already created for them. But I think if you tell them that you already have something created, they're probably more likely even still to respond to you right away.
Yeah, and always a good idea to handwrite something on there as well. Like you handwrite their address, but maybe also like could be anything, a simple like a smiley face, a heart, like just like something that people feel like, oh, it's a real person. Put their stamp on there.
Yeah, I could take out part of this and then just do something here, in writing. That's easy.
I'll share it with you with Matthew Nicholas and on his address onlys, and like he includes a few statistics too, and I think it could help. I'll send it to you right after this.
Can you post that on the group though for everybody to see?
Yeah, it is somewhere in the Insider group. I'll find it again. But
And Wendy, I love the fact you put Facebook on the front of it, because like I said, as soon as they see big name like that, they all of a sudden start looking.
Right, and I did the little Facebook icon. Well, because I don't want them to think that, I don't know. I just want them to
what would even be?
Some people do this in the middle of the night after they've had like several cocktails, so they probably don't even but maybe they will.
What would even be really cool on that back page is if maybe just to refresh their memory, you have a screenshot of your Facebook profile or something like that. Just
that's my Facebook profile.
There you go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
so that's my Facebook profile. So I was hoping to like tie
Gotcha.
their post in and my profile, because I already friend requested them as well.
Looks awesome.
Trying to get their info. So, okay, very good. Well, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.